You know what? I remember.
Hi, Congresswoman.
Hi.
Good afternoon. How are you?
How are you? My
Good.
goodness.
It's been a long time. Didn't expect to catch you at the train station. That's kind of cool.
Now, so have you had people talk to you about how the Gold Line's changed their lives?
Yeah, we hear a lot when we're out in the community because we do have community events. Now that we're out there talking about the extension, people that never thought they'd be able to take a job downtown without having a car, without having to fight the traffic every day. People who just retirees who just don't want to deal with parking and the uncertainty of traffic and finding their way downtown or coming to Pasadena. There's just, there's so many museums in Pasadena, Huntington, and other places, Norton Simon, etc., where people want to come and they don't want to deal with a car. This is a great way. It's kind of opened up some opportunities for them they never thought they'd have. Alignment is very, very diverse. People don't really know that, but when you lived out here, I'm a native, and there's a lot of different cultural interactions along this alignment, and something we're all very proud of, and I think you see it when you go through the communities. And that's what's great about light rail. You're not underneath it, you're not on top of it, you're going through the communities and you get to meet the people, and that's the point, is it's integrated in the community, and you get off, and there's retail, there's shopping, you get to know each community as you go through it.
Please be careful for personal safety.
That's right.
It's a wonderful system. We're very proud of it, and I think the extension is going to be equally successful. When you look at the entire line that we started from Union Station all the way through to Pasadena into this next phase now, we're right here going from Glendora to Montclair. It's just been one segment after the other, really with not a lot of pause between this last segment and the one we're going into now. Just as you mentioned, over a year of being in service, that we are already going into construction on the next phase. And that's ideal because we've been able to keep all the staff together, our consultants that we've been working with. There's no learning curve. We have good relationships with all the cities going through the development process. We're not putting everything on hold and waiting a number of years. This is, you get the maximum benefit, lessons learned from the previous project going right into another one with the same team. So it's a very good experience, and I think it's going to be a great outcome. So the things that we've learned in the last phase, we're going to be able to improve upon certain elements of it, and I think people are going to be very proud of what they receive in the end.
Now, somebody said to me that if you go on the Metro lines that you could see the world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell me more about that. Like if you went here, could you see all these different international communities?
I think so. When starting from East LA on the extension of the Gold Line to Atlantic, I mean, there's Mariachi Plaza, you go through there, you go through Chinatown. Obviously, there's Koreatown, there's Japanese Town, then you go through Heritage Square, Southwest Museum, you get a flavor of that as well, all the way through Pasadena. It's just, I think you run the gamut of everything that you see along the line. There's a lot of history there. Keep in mind that this is an existing railroad right-of-way. It's been there for 100 years. So a lot of these cities developed around the railroad. Most of them were locations of citrus groves and packing houses. So there's a rich history of agriculture here and the connection with, the greater metropolis being downtown.
And just to see how far it could go, you had that map of all of LA County.
Yes, this one here.
Where is it? Oh, that's right. Okay, so you can go all the way here. You could go to downtown.
That's right.
You could,
District,
there's the financial district.
When you go through USC, you're going to be able to go all the way out to the airport.
That's right. All the way out to, and Santa Monica.
That's right.
And then you could go down and you could see the Watts Tower, right?
Right, all the way to Long Beach.
Yeah, you could go up here and you could eat in Thai Town, right?
That's
Little
right.
Thai.
And then, of course, there's Expo line too.
Yeah.
And that's I'm sorry, the subway,
right.
The extension of the subway out here. This is Expo and this is the subway.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the makings of a real system.
Exactly. You could just travel all over to these different places. Hey, how about USC?
That's
right.
Considerate of those around you and don't play loud
loud music or take up more than one seat. If you're standing,
So yes, you could see the world.
Yeah, I never really thought about it, seeing the world on the rail, but you can.
Well, actually it was Senator Holly Mitchell that said she saw the world through, that she took her daughter, she wanted to show her daughters all these different communities, and they actually stopped
Wow.
at the key places, you know, and experienced it.
Yeah.
Had a meal. You know.
And then if you come over here, you see the development that's taking place. This is not authority land. This is developer property. It was owned by the city, and they work with the developer. But all the adjacent acreage is all now under development. You can see it's, we can't really get in there, but we can take a little walk a little more closely.
Now, what sort of things are
It's residential,
Okay.
apartments, and then first floor retail,
Okay.
movie theater.
Oh, wow.
And adjacent and parking. So, and some more public spaces. So it's going to be a great amenity for the city, and obviously not just the jobs, but also the future jobs that are going to be here, people that live here, people that work here long term. And then there's the historic depot. You can't see it, unfortunately, because it's covered up right here, but that's also been used for meeting places. The city's redoing that structure, and they're going to be leasing it out.
that's
So it's
great.
wonderful. It's rejuvenated the area in a way that it hasn't for probably 100 years.
Oh,
I think Henry Huntington would be proud. But you can see, extensive system from downtown LA all the way to the county line. But then when you look, each station has been selected, each parking structure, all that detail's been worked out in the environmental. We have agreements with all the cities, how it's going to be built and the timing. And now we're on track to get a design builder in place by next year and be on the road to construction.
and in every phase, you've been on budget and on time.
Yes.
I mean, it's
We have to
amazing.
make this 3 for 3.
Yeah. So you've got most of the funding to go out to Claremont and Montclair, but there's still a little bit more to go, isn't there?
Right, we have about a $249 million gap that we're going to seek state funds through cap and trade. So we're going to be working with Metro over the next year and applying for cap and trade dollars for about $249 million. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, and then we'll have to see how we do. We'll know next spring how that works out. And then we'll be working with Metro. If there remains a gap, how do we fund that gap and keep us on schedule to award that next big contract next October. So that's going to be the most important thing, is getting to that point. And then once we have shovels in the ground in October, then we're off and running, and the project will get built through 26, and then hopefully the rides will start in late 26, early 27.
Oh my goodness.
It'll happen quickly.
Yeah.
A couple election cycles for you along the way, but we need your support. It's
Yeah, of
really
course, of
important.
course.
We're working with Metro, and there's the feds. Although we haven't had a lot of federal dollars in this project, over the years with your help and also Congressman Dreyer previously, getting funds for planning were very important to this project. There's no way you don't get these projects built without the right seed money. And that's what we had, and that federal support was important. It allowed us to not just look at the stations, but the areas surrounding the station. It's very important, first mile, last mile, as it's referred to. How are people getting to your station? You don't want to keep building these massive parking lots. You want people to find other ways.
Right.
People are not owning cars. They're taking Uber. They're taking bikes. So we're bringing all those facilities into this station complex. And a lot of that was the support of the federal government in that study that allowed us to look at it differently. We'll get on this train.
Okay.
You can barely hear it, see?
For your personal safety, do not sit, stand, or walk near the edge of the platform. Thank you.
Okay.
Closing sector.
Ridership has gone through the roof. We're very pleased with the way ridership has been. We originally projected about 23,000 rides a day, and we're now about 53,000 rides a day.
That's amazing.
Every day there's more ridership. Metro is making some adjustments to the parking policy, so we'll know more if that affects ridership or not. But the growth in the county is just so great. We have a busy few years ahead. First thing is we award our utility contract late this year in October. We have a groundbreaking. The contractor will come in, move utilities that are going to interfere with the contractor's work, get them out of the way or protected in place, and then they'll turn it over to the main contractor next year. That contractor will start the design, finish all the final design for the project. Then we'll relocate the freight and Metrolink tracks. That's a big part of this, is the freight relocation. And then they'll go into construction for the rest of the line. So that'll keep us busy through substantial completion in 2026. So it's a lot of work. It's essentially two projects in one because we have to deal with all the freight and Metrolink relocation within the corridor while keeping them in service the entire time.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it's a complication, but we'll be geared up for that. And then we're responsible, obviously, only here in the San Gabriel Valley. So that's key to our success, is that we're focused on one project, and as Metro is doing everything else in their system to improve the system and provide transit options, we're focused on one thing. So I think it shows in the way we build the project, the way it looked at the end, our ability to come in on time and on budget. It all shows by having an independent project.